Hurdle rate or minimum attractive rate, this is the rate for which whether you accept or reject an investment on something. So this is the minimum you want to earn from an investment. So typically it will be given in the problem. So all the problems you'll be solving, you will be given a minimum attractive rate. If it's not, you can assume. However, this video I'll explain a couple of things that decides what's the minimum attractive rate of return. So generally it's a managerial decision. However, depending on the availability of money, funds and sources of money, for example, whether the money is sitting on a bank doing nothing, or you're getting a loan, let's say at a rate of 5% interest, then if you invest that money, then it has to be at least 5% for the minimum attractive rate for that kind of situation. So depends on how much money you have and the sources of money, things like that. Second is the investment option, whether you're going to put it in a bond or in a stock market, which is riskier, or in a startup company, or maybe you're running your own business, you want to invest on that. So what are the different investment options you have? That will determine also what minimum attractive rate of return you can accept. For example, if you go to the stock market, which yields about 10% per year, so however it's riskier, but bonds generally give you very, very low interest rate. So in that case, the minimum attractive rate of return for bond will be less, and then riskier business will be much higher. The next option is the risk associated, which already we discussed. So the higher the gain, typically the riskier is the investment. So it depends on how much risk you are willing to take. That brings me to the next point, is the type of organization. Governments, non-profit organizations, they usually do not want to take high risk. So they are very conservative in their investment. Typically, they put their money in bonds rather than going into risky investment in the startup company or something like something like a stock, for example. So individual or industry, they can go very conservative to all the way very high risk investment. So these are the things that determine the minimum attractive rate of return. However, most problem you'll be solving, you'll be given this information, and this is a managerial decision, and it requires brainstorming and a lot of basically high level knowledge to understand and set correct